Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to HitBullsEye. My name is Manish Mittal, and in this video, I'm going to discuss the important current affairs for today, that is 22nd of December, 2021. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, or if you are watching these videos for the first time, please subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you can receive the notifications of these videos every day. So it is an initiative by Bullseye in which we are discussing the 5 most important news every day so that you do not miss the most important and most relevant news of that day. So let us see what all important has happened on 22nd of December 2021. In the first and a very heartening news, the Pradhanmantri Jan Dhan Yojana, which was launched back in 2014, has surpassed 44 crore accounts opened under the scheme. So we'll see what this scheme was, when was it started, what was the ultimate aim of the scheme. And there is a criticism that the accounts are empty. The government opened the accounts in haste and now there is no money in those accounts. So we'll see the statistics, whether the controversy is true or not. Secondly, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Rawat, a seasoned IFS officer, has been appointed as India's new ambassador to China. And it is especially significant because India and China are in a face-off at Eastern Ladakh border. So we'll see the significance of this move. In the third important news, the Confederation of Indian Industry has announced its industry awards, in which IIT Roorkee, the Indian Institute of Technology Roorkee, has bagged first position among the most innovative institutions of India. Then fourth news, it's a news reason for the left front to cheer across the world. Gabriel Boric is the new president-elect of Chile, which is a South American country. And we'll discuss what is the significance of him getting elected on this position. And of course, National Mathematics Day it is today. So in India, we celebrate it as the National Mathematics Day. So happy National Mathematics Day to all of you. We'll see why this day is celebrated, in whose memory, and what is the significance of it. Let us start. For those who are asking questions, I'll be answering your questions at the end of this video. So please stay on. The first news is the Pradhanmantri Jan Dhan Yojana accounts have surpassed 44 crore mark. So the scheme that was launched just when this government came into power in 2014, when Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister, his first agenda was, among other things like Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, his agenda was financial inclusion. And when we use the word financial inclusion, a person may be rich, but still he may not be financially included. So what is it that constitutes financial inclusion? It includes that you have banking services, you have access to banking services, number one. Number two, you have access to insurance services. Number three, you have access to affordable credit. And number four, you have access to financial literacy. If you have these 4 things, you are considered to be a financially inclusive person or a financially able person. So the first point for delivering all the governmental benefits for the success of all the e-government schemes is that everybody should have a bank account. That is the first requirement. And with that agenda in mind, in 2014, Pradhanmantri Jan Dhan Yojana was launched, and the banks were on a spree for opening as many accounts as possible for those people who do not have accounts. It's a very significant part that all these accounts are of those people who did not have any account before that. It's not that I have an account already having an account in a bank and I can open another Jan Dhan Yojana account. That is not possible. So it is of unbanked people. So till date, 44 crore accounts have been opened, which is a significant achievement. And the total balance in all these accounts is 1,47,812 crore rupees. That means approximately 1,50,000 crore rupees is there in all these accounts combined. And Uttar Pradesh has topped the list with the highest number of accounts, followed by Bihar. So it's very heartening because Uttar Pradesh and Bihar continue to be one of the poorest states with the highest population in India. So the fact that most number of accounts have been opened there It's really heartening for the agenda of financial inclusion. And now to those critics who are saying that no money is there in the accounts, the aggregate is 1,50,000 crores, and on an average, every account has 2,700 rupees. So it's an important component of financial inclusion, as we already discussed. So the scheme has made India universal. The banking has become universal in India thanks to this scheme. In the second important news, senior Indian Foreign Service officer of the 1990 batch, Mr. Pradeep Kumar Rawat, has been appointed as the new envoy to China, and he's someone who is well versed in foreign policy, and he also knows Mandarin, that is the official name of Chinese language. So he's well versed in Chinese language. So he's India's next ambassador to China, and this designation has assumed a lot of significance because since 1980, when India-China relations attained normality after the 1962 war between India and China, this is the first time that we are facing a lot of border conflicts with China. Now it's been almost 2 years since India and China are facing off each other on the border, and the eyeball-to-eyeball situation in eastern Ladakh in 4 areas primarily. It is the Pangong Tso, the Gogra area, the Hot Springs, and the Galwan Valley. The Galwan Valley incident is very famous. Last year, 20 Indian soldiers succumbed to an armed clash between Indian and Chinese soldiers, and God knows how many Chinese soldiers were also killed. So amid all this, Mr. Rawat, being appointed as the ambassador, has a lot on his shoulders, and he has large shoes to fill, because the last ambassador that is going out effectively channeled all the diplomatic channels and carried forward the dialogue that has been going on for more than 2 years now. So it is now Mr. Rawat's responsibility to carry forward that dialogue, and so that the tensions can ease. Next, IIT Roorkee, which is a relatively new IIT, has bagged the first position among most innovative institutions that is announced by the Confederation of Indian Industry. And this is really important because Confederation of Indian Industry, or any other industry association for that matter, is basically looking for employable students. The major problem in Indian education system, especially in technical education, is that the students that come out with their degrees, especially after engineering, they are not employable. So what should be done to make them employable? It is either there should be incubation centers, there should be apprenticeship programs, internship programs. And here, if the industry body is awarding an institution with the most innovative institution rank, that means that institution has done something right in bridging that gap between the theory and the practice. So that is what the Confederation of Indian Industry has honored here by giving IIT Roorkee the tag of the most innovative research institution of India this year. And it is also significant because it is one of those newer IITs. It's not like IIT Bombay or IIT Delhi, who have established themselves as institutes of excellence. So that is another feather in the cap of IIT Roorkee, because last year it was adjudged as the most innovative institute of the year. And this year it has bagged this award for research institutions category. Next, in the South American country of Chile, some people pronounce it as Chile. It is not Chile, it is still pronounced as Chile. So Mr. Gabriel Boric has been elected as the new president of Chile. And this election is really important because the entire world is seeing the rise of strongmen. Whether you see Mr. Modi in India, or Mr. Xi Jinping in China, or Mr. Vladimir Putin in Russia, we are seeing the rise of strongmen or right-wing politicians in the world, which is not a bad thing, it's just a fact. But here we are seeing a transition where Mr. Gabriel Boric, who has left leanings, is a leftist politician. So he has been elected. So it's the winds of change in South America. And some important facts also that you should know. Chile's capital is Santiago, and the currency of Chile is peso. Also, try to see the location, any country that is in news, try to see its map on the world map. where the country is located, the neighboring countries. I will also try to include some images of maps of those countries which are in use, but you also at your own end, do not throw away your atlas once you are done with your schooling. Atlas is something that's going to pay you rich dividends if you invest a few minutes every day. So I'll also try to include that, but try to see some locations on map which are in news. And finally, today is National Mathematics Day. And one of the greatest mathematicians of the world, and also of India, of course, is Srinivasa Ramanujan. So Srinivasa Ramanujan was born on this day in 1887. So 22nd of December 1887 was the birth date of Srinivasa Ramanujan. And on his 125th birth anniversary in the year 2012, this day was declared as the National Mathematics Day by the then Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh. So this year is the 134th birth anniversary of Srinivasa Ramanujan. So for the uninitiated, let me tell you, he is one of the most renowned mathematicians of India. And in 2015, there was a movie made on his life. And the name of the movie was The Man Who Knew Infinity. That was the movie. It was based on the life of Srinivasa Ramanujan. And why is this celebrated as a National Mathematics Day? Because to make people aware about the development of mathematics and the importance of mathematics in the growth of humanity, right? So these were the 5 important news that I wanted to discuss with you today. Vani is asking, is learning awards important for CLAT? So CLAT is basically for the last 2-3 years asking mostly fact-based questions, and it is passage-based questions. First, they give you a passage and then they ask you 4 or 5 questions that are after that. So of course, you cannot totally rule out the possibility of awards being asked. For example, they may give you a passage on Nobel Prize and then they may ask who is the winner of this particular prize. So yes, learning awards is important for CLAT along with other facts. Vishwas is asking, for BBA exams like DU JAT, which topics in current affairs are relevant and irrelevant? See, in exams like DU JAT, nothing is irrelevant, but of course, there are certain areas of GK that you should pay a little more attention to. For example, awards and honors is one category that you should pay a little more attention. Number 2 is sports. Give a little more attention to sports. So awards and honors, sports. Then number 3 is the persons in news. Any person who has been appointed in a new position, say the Chile's new president, or in whose memory is National Mathematics Day celebrated, right? Or who has been appointed as a new envoy to China. So all these news are really, really important. These are the 3 major areas that you should focus on, of course, without leaving out the other areas as well. So this is something you have to do on a daily basis, and that's why we have started this initiative. Fact-based news is something you have to bear with because they are asked in the exams. So what you can do is you can cover it every day, and then you can do weekly revisions and monthly revisions. The repetition is what will make it stick in your mind, right? So that is all for this session. Thank you so much. And if you think the last 15 minutes have been valuable, give this video a thumbs up and share it as much as possible so that others can also benefit from the same. Also, if you want to access some free of cost GK material, do check out our link in the description below or visit the gk.hitbullseye.com website and register yourself. And there are a lot of courses and video lectures and resources that are available for you. Thank you so much and take care.